my back and my t-shirt was wet.
By just default to being a big Dodger fan, you kind of have to hate the San Francisco Giants.
How are you able to afford this type of car?
Sean Connery was my favorite James Bond.
Hey Abel, great to see you. Good to see you today. So thank you for having us. Today I'm really excited to introduce Abel. So he's a member for 2 years of San Diego. Even if we are in Los Angeles today, he's going to both chapter. So thank you for coming. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow our channel, comment. It's going really fast right now, so I'm excited to have all of you. So can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks. My name's Abel Gonzalez. I live in Southern California for over 25 years. Been a car enthusiast since I was a little boy, and really enjoying being part of Fast Lane family.
Thank you. Can you please introduce us your Aston Martin F1?
Yes. So the F1 is obviously the commemorative addition to Formula One racing, and this spec is exactly what I was looking for in terms of representing the brand. This is my fourth Aston Martin, and I love it. It's been really a fun car to drive, and just looking forward to taking it on more drives.
What Aston Martin did you have before?
So before this one, I had the V12 manual, 6-speed manual. Prior to that, I had the DBS, the one that was made famous by the James Bond movie.
Casino Royale?
Yes, exactly. It was the Lightning Silver in Casino Royale. And prior to that, it was the 2006 Vantage V8, the very first one that came out of the new body style. So obviously I'm loyal to the brand, and yeah, it's just one of my favorite cars ever.
So we are at Aston Martin Beverly Hills today. You love the brand. Why do you like that brand so much?
So it really started, why I love the brand so much is it really started from childhood. I watched all the James Bond movies growing up with my father, all the way back from, Moore to, Sean Connery to today's, James Bonds. But yeah, it's been a childhood thing just growing up, and it just stuck with me.
That's amazing. Why did you sell your V12 Vantage? I love that car.
You know, it was a bittersweet decision. I felt that I wanted to experience the new, more technology-based Aston Martin. All those cars were all based on analog technology, right, or lack thereof. But they were just pure machines, fantastic cars to drive, and this gives you a little bit more kind of like creature comfort features to it. And it's still a great car. Doesn't preclude me from ever going back to it, but yeah, it's just about experiencing as many different cars as I can.
So what will be the next Aston Martin?
Well, my dream is to get to the Valkyrie, right?
Okay.
That would be a great car to own at some point and experience. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But then again, I may venture out and try something completely different.
So who is your favorite James Bond?
I will say it's actually Sean Connery. Sean Connery was my favorite James Bond. He was the epitome of what class and distinguished gentleman was, and every once in a while we try to kind of mimic that as we grow up.
Exactly. I like Pierce Brosnan too. It's good for me. He stopped after. He's a little different with Daniel Craig, but I agree with you. That original James Bond is definitely the best. So please, let's do a little walkthrough on your car.
Sure.
Did you do any modification? Did you do anything to it?
Yeah, the one thing I did do is when I bought it is I powder coated the wheels, made them all black from
At
the
Modern Image.
Yeah, Modern Image, as well as the striping. Yeah, Enrico did a fantastic job with the PPF and the livery for the F1 striping. So after that, I may do some small modification, some carbon fiber detail, but it's pretty much going to stay the way it is. I think it's a beautiful car, the way it is now.
Yeah. Why did you choose that color? Because of Formula One team? Or?
That's exactly why. I've traditionally liked silver, black, gray cars, and this was very out of my comfort zone. And I felt that if I'm going to do it, why not now?
That's good.
I'm super happy with the choice.
Do you watch Formula One? Do you have a Formula One team?
Yes, I do watch Formula One, and obviously, as Aston Martin got back into Formula One, that's been the team that I've followed. But there's so many great drivers out there, and I'm more kind of a driver. And I do have preference to Checo, right? Perez, why not? You know, being from my home country, but
and they used to be sponsored by Aston Martin.
That's right. That's right. So no, I do enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to this season for sure.
That's good. I'm in the spirit of Aston Martin today. Beverly Hills gave me this beautiful 707 for the weekend, so I'm really excited to drive that. And really, the spirit of Aston Martin is amazing. And it's funny because the brand recognition is a little different than any other brand. Everybody knows Ferrari, but not everybody in the street knows the history behind Aston Martin. And when you drive that in the street, is really different.
It is, and you know, the brand itself is not very well known, but they know it's something different, and then that's what I like about it. It's distinguishing. It's not your common variety sports car luxury vehicle, and that's something about, you know, at least my personality. I want to try to be a little different, but still stay, you know, in a nice classical way in tradition.
Perfect. So now let's go a little about Fastlane. Why did you join Fastlane, and how long you've been a member exactly?
So I joined Fastlane for the mere reason I enjoy cars so much, and I have a passion for developing good relationships and friendships, and what a better way to do it with like-minded people. And I actually went out and looked, and I did research on different car clubs, and I came across a number of them. The difference between Fastlane and all the other organizations is that yourself, in setting the vision for Fastlane, you're very, very particular about who joined the organization, because it was all about creating a culture around the family, the environment, and what Fastlane stood for. Cars are great to drive around, but what else? You know, what is the purpose of Fastlane, and what other contributions can it make to, you know, your community? And that really intrigued me. Plus the fact that you went through, you know, had to go through an interview process, which I think is very unique, and it really kind of shows the commitment to having the right people in the organization.
Thank you. What was your favorite event so far? You've been to a lot of them. So
yeah, I would say that the funnest event was probably the autocross that we went to down in Viejas, down in San Diego. It really had an opportunity to really kind of go out and really push your car and taking a little bit out of the element. You know, the drives around, you know, the canyons and the scenic drives are amazing, but really those autocross really takes it to a whole different level. Super exciting.
Yeah, I agree with you. What are you looking for 2023? We have so many events coming. Miami, we have Vegas, we have Arizona. Now we're gonna have Monaco. So yeah, it's nonstop.
Yeah, you know what I'm most excited about is all of that, and the options, the choices that we have as members. Right, been obviously involved with the San Diego chapter, involved with the LA, going to Arizona now. It's just the tremendous amount of opportunity to meet new people and visit different parts of the country, and like you said, you know, overseas here pretty soon. So
yes, thank you. So now we're going to talk a little about your personal life. So sure, how are you able to afford this type of cars? What do you do for a living?
So what I do for a living, I went to school. I graduated from construction management many years ago. Part of the civil engineering school, and what I've been doing for the past 26 years is really designing, engineering, and planning and construction of large technical projects, healthcare facilities, pharmaceutical laboratories, research and development, everything from cancer research to medical device manufacturing. And so it really focuses on how we could contribute back to society in terms of developing healthcare studies and research to develop the next medicines to help cure diseases. And so that was pretty gratifying for me, and to be part of this industry versus, you know, developing a commercial office building or anything else. It just provided more context to what I'm doing, and much more gratifying.
So how did you get into that? What would you say to the young Abel also to get into that industry?
Well, I would tell you that getting into this industry, it was kind of just by chance, right? I really enjoyed architecture and engineering, but the field really found me. And once I found that there was a specialized market in the engineering and design and construction of these modern medicine facilities, it really drew to me, and it really gave me a purpose on why I actually did what I for a living, and the passion behind it. So it was pretty exciting.
That's really amazing. So what's your daily routine to be successful?
Daily routine is don't be so hard on yourself. You have to understand that not everything is going to go perfect every day, and just have the patience to understand that life's going to throw you some curveballs throughout the day, and just be flexible and adjustable. That there's a lot of things you don't have control over. Just roll with it. Make sure you're making the best decisions possible for yourself and your organization. Things will work out.
Thank you, thank you. What's a big vision for your life?
Well, I have 3 daughters. So big vision for my life is to take care of my family, my beautiful wife, my 3 daughters, and get them through school and help them understand what the value is of hard work and commitment to not only their studies but also in future life endeavors. So that's my goal as a husband and as a father is just be the best I can be.
What would you tell yourself 10 years ago to make you feel better or help you to stay motivated?
What would I tell myself 10 years ago? Probably, again, not be so hard on myself. I was always trying to really be a perfectionist, make everything be perfect. We all know as we get older that not everything can be perfect. And there's just a lot of wasted energy in that in life. And sometimes you miss it. You miss what's actually right in front of you because you're so worried about what you quote unquote should have been doing or could be doing that you're missing out on some of the most important parts of your life right in front of you. So
tell us a little more about the company you are working for right now.
So the organization I work for right now is CRB Group, and we're a pharmaceutical life science builder, design and engineering. And I'm responsible for operations across the Western region. So that includes California, Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington. And so my job is to make sure that we are delivering to our clients the way that we sell our services and making sure we're producing the best results possible and delivering what they need in order for them to do their business. So it's really a service-based organization. But ultimately it's our expertise, our technical expertise on how to build these facilities is what we provide our clients. Again, I've been doing this for 25 years, everything from project management to client development and now the operations and running the business.
That's really good. This is really passionate. We see each other quite often. As I was mentioning, you're a great member. So please, every member who wants to follow your path is really amazing. If you had to change career today, what would you do? Or what if you had to come back 10 years ago and maybe you're happy with what you are doing?
That's a great question. So what would I do differently in terms of career? I've always wanted to be, there was 2 things, Clem. A professional baseball player, and I can tell you about that story, and also a car designer. I've always really was just mesmerized by the concept of designing a car, coming up with the creation and the shapes and the forms. You know, when you look at the designers with the clay models, the full-scale models, that to me that would be a dream. If I could have a job doing that, I could die and be happy today.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah. Beautiful. Let's talk about the design of the car. What was your dream car? What poster did you have in your?
My dream car was a Ferrari, right? As a kid, it goes back to Magnum PI, the Testarossa. I had that poster.
So that's why you have the mustache.
Yes, that's right, the mustache, right? Yeah. I wish I was Tom Selleck.
I know, same.
But yeah, the Testarossa was the iconic car back then. So yeah, that would be my dream car.
That's a beautiful car. Mm-hmm. I think we all grew up with that car. That's vision. They're going really up in value right now. This is a great investment. I say that for all our followers. If you have the money, buy a Testarossa right now. They're skyrocketing. Let's go back to the baseball thing. We know you love baseball. You would have loved to become a baseball player. Please explain us that.
So as a child, that was one of the things that I did a lot is I played baseball all the way through high school. I played college. I played semi-pro. And then eventually I got to the point where in my life where I needed to make a decision, right? It's like, do I continue with the baseball career or do I move to, finding something a little bit more stable in my life? So I played baseball semi-pro for about 2 years. I traveled all over the West Coast for a while and then decided to go back to school, and that's how I got into construction management. But during that time playing baseball, I got to meet some really interesting and special people that really taught me a lot about life in terms of commitment, staying focused on what's important to you. And really a lot of life lessons. And so sports has always been a big part of me. My daughters are in sports now. I coach them in softball. And it's my way of kind of helping instill, the character and integrity that comes with being disciplined and committed to sports that, again, translates to life. So I've taken a lot of those experiences and applied it to who I am today.
So let's talk about that. What is your favorite team and what team you dislike the most?
Well,
We're going to make a lot of enemies today.
That's easy. So I'm a big Dodger fan.
Okay.
I've grown up my entire life here being part of Los Angeles. And so by just default to being a big Dodger fan, you kind of have to hate the San Francisco Giants.
Okay.
So even though I grew up in Northern California, it was a little ironic that I became a Southern California baseball fan. But yeah, Dodgers have been for many, many, many years.
So do you watch a lot of sport? Do you play a lot of sport?
So I actually played sports up until I was 10 years ago. I still played adult baseball. Even while I was working and full on in my career, I still had that passion for it. And so I played in a lot of the men's adult baseball hardball leagues. But eventually my knees told me that it was time to stop. If it wasn't for my knees, I'd probably still be playing to this day. I just love the sport.
What do you get out of Fastlane, and did you make any business connection or relationship outside the club?
Yeah, some of the connections that I've made within Fastlane that are part of close to what the business I do is a lot of in the healthcare industry, right? There's a lot of our members that are both in life science and healthcare, and just to tie it back to what I do is that's a network opportunity for me to be able to connect to some of the folks that I actually have worked in the past in their organizations. I work for organizations in life science such as Amgen, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, a lot of those large pharmaceutical companies, as well as healthcare. Kaiser, here locally in Los Angeles, Children's Hospital of Los Angeles has been a big client for many years that I worked with in the past. CHLA is an interesting story. When I think about the impact that experience has had on my life, I will tell you that one of the most gratifying experiences of being involved in building a new pediatric hospital is being able to get to the day when you turn over the facility and you have doctors and nurses that are primarily focused in providing care to infants that are going through some really life-threatening healthcare condition or disease, that they're walking in and they're seeing this amazing facility that they could actually do their work. I walked through that facility on that day it opened up, and to know that I had a very small part in that, you couldn't help but to get emotional. Then they realized that I did a little bit to make a child's life better or give them an opportunity to have a life, period, because of some of the conditions that they had. That's why I do what I do.
No, what I think you do is absolutely unbelievable. I always grateful to have you part of the club because this is unbelievable. So that's to rebound on the question is how can we make a change in this world with what you are doing?
Well, how do I make a change is I am very selective of the type of clients we do because it's the clients that actually provide back to the community. And that's a big part of my philosophy is I want to help build things that are going to make a difference in our society, that are going to either help people in distress that have a healthcare condition or allow people to actually build their own organizations, right? So if I could be part of that building block to something bigger and better for somebody else, that's all worthwhile for me.
This is unbelievable. And Fastlane has a big philanthropy part. We raised millions of dollars since we started. So you've been a really generous contributor over the years, and thank you for that. However I can help you, it's both ways. So
no, thank you. And I really appreciate that, Clem. And you mentioned something, and I can't help but to say, Fastlane Drive has been tremendous with the community, and to see that's the connection that makes people like me, attracted to an organization like this because of the things that we do outside of just driving beautiful cars.
And I think I saw that Fastlane was doing a difference is when the Make-A-Wish Foundation contacted us and they were like, we need to go see your kids in a terminal phase. Can you help us? We managed to get 150 cars overnight. That was really incredible. So I think he's giving back is something that is really different.
That was a huge event. I mean, it happened like overnight.
24 hours.
Yeah,
we had the help of Ogara. They organized it with us. Ferrari helped a lot. I mean, everybody like joined force, and you see that the car community is actually a lot of really extremely good people. So I loved it.
Well, it's been great. It's been a great experience, and looking forward to many, many more to make.
Thank you. So let's go back a little about that car. So tell me some details and things you like and dislike about that car.
What I really like about this car is, although it's an AMG engine, the sound is amazing.
And today
the sound is amazing. The exhaust, you know, Aston Martin's been known for a very unique exhaust. They just did not disappoint with the new AMG engine. It's still very unique, kind of has that distinct sound. The response, even being an automatic, being a traditionalist, and, you know, really enjoying the manual transmission was always kind of like my thing. But I'll tell you what, right now, this car's not disappointing in terms of just performance. I really like, you can never have too much Alcantara, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that's unique about Aston Martin.
Except on convertible. So I have to tell you the story. O'Gara nicely gave me a 600 LT when they came out, a convertible one. And we're doing a fast lane, we're driving in Malibu, and the seat were in Alcantara. And I've been really lucky to take another set of clothes that day.
Yeah.
My back and my t-shirt was wet. Really? And I was like, I will never buy a car in Alcantara if it's convertible without cool seats. And now when I buy convertible, the first option I take is cool seat, because you can look really bad with all that. So let's go back a little about your life. Give me a cool quote.
Wow. So, you know, the cool quote that I've really lived my life, or I tried to live my life around, and it goes back to my baseball days. Jackie Robinson was a big baseball player in Major League Baseball, and he really changed the game in terms of inclusion and diversity in baseball players in the United States and around the world for that matter. The really cool thing that he said one day, and it's a very famous quote, it says, "Your life is only as important as the impact it has on others." And that's really resonated with me, just in terms of, you know, as one person, you don't think you have to make a big difference in other people's lives, but there's a lot of people actually looking at you and seeing how you act and how you behave, whether it's your family, your friends. You have influence more than you probably know. And so it's really about living a life that living by example, right? And so that's been super important.
And that's a really good point, you know, like developing Fastlane, for example. You know, I made my money before with my marketing agency, and today we have the AI software called Soundful that's blowing off. I try to reinvest everything in Fastlane and be sure that everybody will say, oh, we are part of something big, you know? And I don't want to say any data is like, where is it going? The money, yes, we're growing it, and like we're reinvesting. And I think it's really important if you have an impact with philanthropy, growing something, you are part of something big. And obviously today with a TV show, with all those articles, all this press, all those chapter opening, this is something that, you know, people text me every day and say, thank you for everything you're doing with Fastlane, because I really feel I'm part of something big. And people who don't like Fastlane or criticize Fastlane usually are the one who are not coming to event, who are not part of Fastlane. I heard something recently from two brothers of someone we know in San Diego, always criticizing what we are doing. They've never been to an event. So it's really interesting how, you know, you're trying to show positivity and really giving them back. So let's go back to your life. I don't want to talk too much about Fastlane and myself, but...
So it's interesting, we're driving through by this school right here. This is Beverly Hills High School. This is one of the projects that I was involved with. We renovated this high school. It's a very old school. We came in here and did a seismic upgrade to this school.
Yes.
For earthquake prevention, and it provided the school and the students a safer environment to teach and learn. So, you know, when you get a chance to drive next to some of the projects that you're involved in, there's a sense of pride and go, yeah, I was part of this. So this is pretty cool to be able to actually do this right here, right now.
I love it. And you know, I'm like you, because with a marketing agency, everywhere I go, I see some clients, and I'm really proud when I see that. And everywhere I go with Fastlane, I see some members or like company from our members. So this is really incredible. Like, it's a sense of pride, you know, to be part of something like that. Thank you so much for
No,
today.
thank you. Had a great time, buddy.
So please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. We will have way more successful people to reveal their car and what they do for a living and how they can motivate every people in the world.
Thanks, everybody.